Hi book lovers, it's Jenny at Julia Baby Jen, and this is my February book haul. Okay, so I have some books to haul, so let's get going. First, I got a pre-order that I was so excited to get. Caraval by Stephanie Garber, which I'm really excited to read this. This is compared to The Night Circus. It's supposed to be like a YA version of that. I actually have not read The Night Circus, but I love circuses and I love carnivals and I love books like that. So I think I will really enjoy this one. And this is just a stunning book. Look at the beautiful cover, and then the back has that cool ticket on it. And then on the book itself, it has that cute little blue teardrop, and it has some, just the inside of the book is really cool. There is a map, really cool map of the city or the carnival or whatever. I think it's a city. And then let's see, and then just beautiful pages in there, and there's like some letters and things like that. So it's just a really cool looking book, and I'm really excited to read this, hopefully sooner rather than later. I don't really know a lot about this other than the circus thing, and that's really all I want to know. That's all I needed to know. King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. This was a pre-order I did. This is the third book in the Red Queen series, which I really do like. A lot of people, I get to hear a lot of mixed opinions on this series. I think you either like it or you don't. I really like it. There's a lot of cliches and a lot of YA stuff that you see all the time, but I still really got into it and I really kind of enjoy it. Even though the characters drive me kind of nuts, there's still enough cool stuff in the world that I really enjoy the reads. So I have read Red Queen and Glass Sword, and this is the third book, and I did read the novellas too. Although I'm thinking I might reread the first two books before I read King's Cage again. I believe there's going to be 4 books in this series, so I think there's still one more after this. I'll have to look that up for sure. But yeah, this is a really cool book. I love how the book covers have like evolved. Red Queen was very whitish gray cover with a crown that I think just had red blood dripping from it, I believe. Okay, it's more of a very small crownlet. You can't see the color, but it's very white gray kind of a cover, and it only has the red blood dripping down it. Then Glass Sword went to kind of a blue, but with a little bit of a gray tone, very gray blue cover, and then this crown's a little bit bigger, and this one has both red and silver blood dropping off of it. And then King's Cage went darker, so it's the same gray blue, but it went even darker, and the crown is bigger, and we have I would say less blood dripping off of it, but you still have silver and red blood. This one has a lot more blood on it, I think, than the other one does too. But so they've kind of evolved. So they started as a really light gray and gone to a gray blue, and it gets darker with every book. I really think when I don't have Red Queen yet. I want to get it in hardback, and I haven't found it anywhere yet. All I see is the paperbacks. But I think it'd be really cool to have the whole series lined up with it. I think it's a really cool concept for a book cover. It's nice and simple, but still unique and different, and you know what series this is when you look at it. So very great cover designs on these. I'm really impressed with how they did that. The other thing I want to mention is this book is huge. The first two were, I think around 400 pages. The first one, I think, was about 400. This is a little over. This one's over 500 pages. Just over 500 pages. And this one's a lot bigger than the other two. So they keep getting bigger, which is pretty normal in a series. But yeah, so King's Cage. Excited to read it. I picked up this book at Target. Z, a novel of Zelda Fitzgerald, which I've had my eye on for a while, and I was browsing through the Target bookshelves and saw this, thought, yes, I'm going to finally buy this. It's a really cool looking book. I'm really interested in Fitzgerald, so that is really cool too. So I'm really excited to read this. This is more of a literary read. It's not a biography or a memoir, or it's more historical fiction, I guess, based off of the Fitzgerald. So I'm really excited to read this book, and I love the deckled edges. Oh, just a really cool book. This was an impulse buy at Walmart. Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly. This is a Beauty and the Beast story, and it's actually authorized by Disney. It's an actual Beauty and the Beast, and it takes place after the events of Beauty and the Beast, and Belle finds this book in the gorgeous library in the Beast Palace, and it's a magic book, and she kind of falls into the story. So it sounds really interesting, and Beauty and the Beast, it's a book about a book, totally my thing. So I'm really excited to read this. I picked up a few books at Barnes & Noble, actually online at Barnes & Noble, some sale items. I got this gorgeous edition of Wicked and Son of a Witch by Gregory Maguire. My mother has this book, and I've been wanting it forever. I should have grabbed my copy of Wicked. I have Wicked in hardback, but it's like falling apart. The dust jacket is completely wrecked. It just looks terrible. And then it's actually my second copy of Wicked. My first copy was the paperback version, which I really, really liked. But that one fell apart as well. And then my hardback edition's finally fallen apart. So I decided to invest in this beautiful thing, and it was half price. It was $10 on Barnes & Noble, and it's beautiful. And I didn't own Son of a Witch yet, so now I do. And it's just this gorgeous edition. I just love this leather book, clock tower, and then the edges are gold, and oh, it's gorgeous, and there's maps inside, and oh, I just love these books so much. There are a few illustrations in here, not a lot, but a few, and yeah, these are just gorgeous books. So if you don't know what Wicked Gregory Maguire is, it's You're Living on a Rock, but basically it's a retelling of the Wizard of Oz, like actually what happened, and it's told from the point of view of the Wicked Witch of the West. So this is her story, Elphaba, and it's not what you thought. It totally twists Oz on its head, the whole thing, and that's really cool. So the first book is Wicked, and it's all about her. The second book is Son of a Witch, which is about her son. The third book is, I can't think of the name of it, but it's about the Cowardly Lion, and I didn't like that one as much. And then the fourth and last book is about her granddaughter, and I haven't read that yet. So my goal this year was I wanted to reread Wicked and Son of a Witch again, and then I think I'm just going to shoot right on to Out of Oz, because I don't really want to read the lion story again, but I remember enough of it that I think I won't. It'll be fine. And it's not like I don't remember these really stick in your head, but I just want the pleasure of rereading them again. So now I have a gorgeous book to do it with, and I am so excited. I guess I should mention the reason that I've gone, this is my third book of Wicked, because I read them. I haven't read them in a while, but I used to read Wicked all the time. I love that story so much. And the musical is fantastic too. It's very different from the book in a lot of ways, but it was still really good, and it had the main theme of the story, which Gregory Maguire was trying to express. So I really do love the musical as well. Then I picked up Wires and Nerves by Marissa Meyer. A new Marissa Meyer book, had to get it. This is a graphic novel, and these are stories about Aiko. It's a whole new series that comes out, and I really love her in the Lunar Chronicles. So I'm really excited to read this. It's a really cool book. I didn't think it was going to be this neat, but it's gorgeous. The illustrations have a blue tint to all of them, and I just really think this book is cool. And it's just a really nice, fun book, and I'm very excited to read this. Then I finally got A Darker Shade of Magic by Evie Schwab, so I can finally start this series. I pre-ordered the last book, actually, so I need to get on this. Ordered a few used books on Amazon. First I got The Sweetest Dark, and then the sequel, The Deepest Night by Shanna Abe. I have read The Sweetest Dark when it came out. Actually, I read it as a NetGalley, I believe. So this was a while ago, and I vaguely remember it, but I loved it. It's actually a dragon story, and I really did love it. So yeah, I wanted to reread this one so I could read the sequel. I had never read the sequel, and I was going through a list of series that I haven't finished, and this was one of them. Like, oh, well, it's only a 2-book series, so let's finish this series, shall we? So I picked them up on Amazon because my libraries do not have them, and it was cheaper to buy them as a used book, and they're actually in pretty decent shape. They're hardcovers, and they didn't cost me hardly anything, so that's kind of cool. And then I got The Indigo Spell by Marissa Meyer. I really didn't need to finish this series. I was really loving it, and I was reading them from my library, but my library, these books are lost. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th book that they bought for this series are lost. They can't find them anywhere, and they haven't reordered anymore, and they didn't reorder the last one. They didn't order the last one since the other 3 were lost. So I decided I'm just going to have to buy them. So I found this used on Amazon very inexpensively and decided I'm going to work on this series. So I do already own the 5th book, so I'll just have to get the 4th book. And then, of course, the last book. This, I say what this series is about. This is a spin-off series off of Vampire Academy. So it's about vampires, but Marissa Meyer's vampires are very different than any other vampires. So I really like the world building. But what's great about her books are the characters. These characters are awesome. So this actually follows Adrian, who is the jilted lover in the first series, and Sydney Sage, who is actually a bit part in the Vampire Academy, but she's not a vampire. She is she's an alchemist, which means she deals things with magic, and their society is all about covering up traces of the vampire society so humans don't know, and they're kind of prejudiced against vampires. But she becomes really involved in Adrian's life, and she's undercover on this school assignment, and she becomes very involved in this group, and starts to learn a lot more, and it's a very revolutionary kind of a series. I really do like it. I love Sydney. I love Adrian. This has turned out to be a really good series so far. And the rest of the books are all books I picked up at BAM on a couple of different trips. First of all, I got Prudence by Gail Carriger. I am so excited for this series. So this is, Prudence is a character in her finishing school series. What is it? Etiquette and Espionage is the first one. And she's one of the main characters in it, one of the girls that's in the school. And so this is an adult series. So this is a spin-off of this, and this is her now, the main character, as an adult. So that's all I really know. That's all I need to know. I'm very excited. Gail Carriger books I really enjoy. They're really great steampunk, fun adventures, paranormal, history. Oh, they're just so much fun. So I'm excited. This is the first one, and then there's a second one called Prudence, which I'm excited to read that too. But I'm going to start with the first one. And A Total Impulse Buy, Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. I was just kind of browsing the sci-fi and fantasy section, the adult one in Barnes & Noble, which is where I picked up Prudence. And I was actually looking for the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin, is that the author? But they only had it as a bind-up of all of the books, and it was a paperback, and it was freaking huge. And I was like, no, I do not want to read it like that. I want to read each book individually, because the books themselves are big, and I don't really want to read it as a bind-up. I don't think that's going to work very well for me, so I didn't get that. And then I was going to get A Darker Shade of Magic, and they did not have that one either. I ended up having to order that online. And there was a few others that I was looking at, and they didn't have specifically what I wanted. In the series, I was just really unimpressed with their science fiction and fantasy. Maybe because it was the end after Christmas and they haven't restocked yet. But the shelves were half empty, and there just wasn't a lot, and there wasn't like a lot of first books in the series that I haven't read yet. So I was browsing through, and I just saw this book, looked it up on Goodreads, and it has really high ratings, and it looks like a really good fantasy. So yeah, so I picked this up. It looks really good. And another kind of impulse buy was Black Widow Forever Read by Margaret Stoll. So this is actually produced by Marvel. So this is an actual superhero book about the Black Widow, and I am so excited to read this. This looks like so much fun. Yeah, really good science fiction from what I can tell reading through it. This is a YA book. And it's the first in the series. I think the second one's out too. Then I was so happy. I bought it. I got Ghostly Echoes by William Ritter. This is the third book in the Jacoby series, and I love these books. I have not read this one yet. I read the first two. So, and I have them in hardcover. I found them on Book Outlet, but I went ahead and paid full price. This just came out not long ago, and I just really wanted to add this to the series. So I picked up Ghostly Echoes, and I can't wait to read this. This is kind of like a, I would equate it to somewhat like Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes with a cross of paranormal series. Basically, Jacoby is a private detective, but he deals with paranormal investigations. And he hires this woman named Miss Rook temporarily to be his assistant, and they become quite a duo. So it has that Sherlock, I mean, it takes place in the 1800s in London. It has a total Sherlock feel, but with a really fun paranormal vibe, and they're just really fun reads. I really love this series. These books I picked up on sale and then got to the checkout and realized they weren't supposed to be on sale, but they forgot to take the stickers off when they were on sale, I guess. So, but I still got them for the sale price since they were marked. This is their literary classic collection, and I love these. I have a few more, but I got The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, and these are $15 normally, and so they had these $10 stickers on them, so I got them for 10 bucks. And I love these. So they're like a hardback, like hard, but then they have a leather spine to them, and they have these cool, and it has the year it was published on it, and these cool pictures, and then it has the deckled edges. They're just really cool books. I mean, they just look like an old classic that you would have bought a long time ago, but they're new books. So they're really neat. I love these so much. So I got The Picture of Dorian Gray, and I also got Persuasion by Jane Austen, which I haven't read yet either. And this one's really cool. I gotta take all the sticker stuff off. But yeah, I love these. And it has the ship on it. And there's the $10 sticker on it. It was on the back. So they missed a few of these, I guess, on the shelves. And so I saw these. I'm like, oh, $10. They're on sale. I'll grab a couple more of these. I also have Jane Eyre and Alice in Wonderland are the other ones that I have. But I would like to get the whole set of these. They're just really cool books. And finally, I picked up a bargain book. I got a Dean Koontz, St. Odd, which is the last book in the Odd Thomas series. I think this is the 7th book. I've only read through the 3rd book, I believe. So I need to finish this series, but now I will have owned all of them. This is the only one I didn't own, and it was in the bargain book section, so I had to get it. Dean Koontz. I love Odd Thomas. Odd Thomas is such a great series. If you've never read Dean Koontz, but you like suspense mystery type books, I think Odd Thomas is a great one to start with. It's not super intense. There's a lot of paranormal to it, but it's a really, really great read. So I would definitely start with that if you've never read Dean Koontz and would like to start. It's a very kind of a book that just about everybody would like if you like a suspense and mystery and a little bit of paranormal. It's not super scary, but it is a little bit. So Odd Thomas is a great series to start with if you want to start a Dean Koontz. The other one I would suggest is The City, which is actually not a typical Dean Koontz book at all. It does have a mystery, and there are some freaky parts of it, but it's more of a literary fiction kind of a read, and I loved The City. It's one of my favorite Dean Koontz, so that's another one I would really recommend if you've never read a Dean Koontz and would like to try one. Read The City or Odd Thomas. Alright, that is my February book haul. Leave me comments below on what you've bought lately or what you think of. If you want to talk about any of these books, I'd love to do that too. I hope everyone has a good day. I will talk to you later. Bye.